What's up, everybody? Welcome to the BC Show. This is episode 5. Thank you for spending part of the day with us. I'm going to let you know we're going to go over the Vegas trip, why we couldn't record while we were there, the Mavericks at the Summer League. That was exciting. Cowboys football is almost here. HEB finally opening in Wylie here in another week or so, a little over a week. And then a few random stories along the way. Let's jump in. Hit it.
Welcome to the BC Show, hosted by Ben Chapman.
Boom, 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 bop, bam. Bing, bop, bing, bop, bing, bop, bing, bop, bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. Okay. Bam, boom, bop, bam.
This what we doing?
Bop, boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
yeah! And welcome back. Here we are. This is episode 5. We're moving along. Stuff's going good. Just got back from Vegas actually yesterday. Oh man, that was it was a long 3 days. It definitely had some fun while we were there. Was trying to get set up to record actually on Friday. Was wanting to get the room I had was actually pretty good. I was by myself in the room. This was a guy's trip. It was one of my buddy Scott's 40th birthday, so I think it was 10 of us that went, and it was a good time. It's a good thing about going with guys. We had a set time for a couple things. Everybody can do what they want, move around. We always get back together. There's no fussing. There's no, hey, if you need to get ready, go get ready. We'll go do this while we wait, this and that. But so we were in a good location. We actually stayed at the Vidara, which is actually on the backside of the Cosmopolitan and also part of the Aria. All that stuff's connected, and I've never stayed there before. It was actually kind of nice. Instead of just walking straight down in the casino, it seemed a little quieter on the backside. Had a very good view. Had no balcony, but I actually had a view of the fountains. So that's where I was trying to do my picture from for the video of this. And then not having the cord correctly, the lighting was bad. I waited too long trying to do it Friday night, and we had dinner reservation at 7:30. 7:30 is actually, of course, it's a 2-hour difference. It was actually 9:30 of this time. And so it just, nothing went to plan. And I had a 6 a.m. flight, so I had to be up at 3:45 a.m. I actually got up at 4 a.m. Make sure you can Uber, get there and everything on time. And of course, actually my Uber, that didn't work out. I actually just canceled and hopped in a cab. Those people there's tons of Ubers, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're just selective when they're waiting on stuff to see if something bigger pops up. Because, I don't know. I think it was like a $35 ride to the airport. Kind of ridiculous, but hopped in the cab. It was $26. Cabs there take credit cards, which is kind of nice. I had cash. I don't know why I wouldn't pay cash, but it is what it is. But, I'll tell you a little about the trip. I got in first actually on Wednesday. I worked half a day, and then I had a flight, headed home. I think I left here about 1:30. I tried to get out by 1-ish. Got home, got ready. Already had everything packed, which I don't like to do in advance, but I actually did it the night before, so that was good. And just a couple things I had to do, and I was worried getting all this podcast stuff in the suitcase and my backpack. And I was walking around with a selfie stick, too. So I was trying to do stuff like that. Nothing went to plan, of course. You know what I mean? Because we were there for this. This was a last-second edition. Hey, let me try to do my podcast there. And it did not work out. But going to the airport, I'm like, man, are they going to stop me for this stick? I'm Googling up questions while I'm driving there, seeing if I'll get stopped. I actually was TCA approved probably a couple of months ago. So that's actually a nice little benefit. They don't check everything as much. And but just put the bag in there and it actually works. And then I'm looking in the airport. So many people with these sticks and everything. Oh my God, everybody's a podcaster these days, including myself now. I'm not really, but it's ridiculous. Everybody was there. I would say like a quarter of the people had stuff going on with the camera, recording this and that. But that went smooth getting through the airport finally, and then our flight attendant was late, so they delayed our flight just a little bit, but we landed on time. I think I got there about 5 p.m. and then had to go. That takes a minute to get through the airport. Stopped real quick by my favorite slot games, which I love all the Huff and Puff games. Stopped there, threw $25 in, won nothing. But it was just worth a shot since the person, I think it was about 2 to 3 weeks ago, they won, I believe it was 3.2 or 3.3 million on the Wheel of Fortune. I'm not for sure how much the bet was, but that's what they did. And man, so I was like, maybe I can try. But I did Huff and Puff, and of course didn't win. So I walked over there, got my Uber, and oh my gosh, there's so many people arriving on Wednesday. But I finally got off about 10 minutes later or so, and oh my gosh, the heat, because we were waiting in the garage, the heat is so different than here. I think it was 113 when I landed. And then, unlike the heat index here, 113 is like 114 there. Here, if it's 98, the heat index could be 110. You definitely sweat here. There you don't sweat. But the wind, there was a nice breeze. But it wasn't nice because it was like having a hair dryer in your face the whole time. So it's such a different thing. But God, man, that was so hot. But we finally got in the Uber and got across town. It only takes like 10 minutes on the Uber drive, maybe 15. That's with traffic. And it wasn't terribly busy. But, of course, pull up to the Vidar, pull past the Aria, circle around, and then we pull in there, get dropped off. As soon as I got off, I forgot they had those driverless little boxcar taxis. And I'm like, man, I was really wanting to get on one of those. But, of course, I always say 3 nights you should have plenty of time to get stuff done. But, gosh, it just didn't seem like there was. So I got there, checked in, got to my room, got up there. I'm afraid of heights. I hate heights. But I was on the 34th floor. I think it was on room 24. Yeah, room 24. 34024. And I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I'm just telling you. And I got in my room, walk in. I have a dining room table, a kitchen. Walk past that, a good-sized little dining room. And then I have a living room with a TV on the backside. And then a couch area and a sitting area. Then on the other side of that, then I have my bedroom where there's another TV. Then I go into my restroom, and there's a bathtub, there's a shower, pretty good sized shower and everything. I had a little suite, which was nice, and all I had to pay was the resort fees. So I think I spent like $160 for 3 nights, which wasn't bad. It was actually good because of my MGM thing, but I didn't even spend that much money last time, so I was able to comp a room. That's where it fit for everybody to go. So this is where we stayed, and I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, it was kind of nice. And then I had there's no balconies in this building, but I peeked through the window, and I see the fountain out there. It wasn't on yet. It was still daylight. And I'm like, oh, man, I didn't really like the view at first. And then I'm sitting there pulling on the curtains and stuff, trying to figure it out. And I'm like, I looked up on Google. It's like, hey, there should be a switch or whatever. I'm like, sure. And I'm looking around. For some reason, I didn't have all the lights on. Just had a minimum light, the closet light. And then I started messing with it. There's a little iPad. And, of course, I pull it off. It disconnects. And I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. And then I put it back on there. It finally loaded up. I was like, oh, it just needed to charge. So I pick it up again and it disconnects. And I'm like, oh, goodness. Put it back on there about 10 minutes later. In between this, I unpacked, hung all my stuff up, used all the drawers. It's kind of nice when you're by yourself because everything was organized. And I packed almost exactly what I needed, which is a first. I normally overpack. And then so we get it in there and go check the iPad. And I start messing with it. This time I'm not pulling it off. And I didn't see the curtain stuff on there. I'm like, man, I don't even know. So I sat down for a few minutes, called my wife, daughter, see what they were doing. They were out and about while I was gone on Wednesday night. They were out having some fun themselves, which that's kind of funny. Running around here and there. They weren't out too late. I think they got in about midnight or so. I don't think my wife was feeling too good the next day. Neither was I. We'll get to that later. And so finally, get dressed. I change. And I know I was checking with Scott. He's on his way. And he's I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go downstairs and start whatever. I just took $300 with me down there. I think I took about $1,000 with me or so. That was the plan. And so I go downstairs and go through the Cosmopolitan, get my MGM card, start using my discounts because I had some free play as well, and then just sit down and whatever. And then I know he said, hey, we're on our way. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there, whatever, playing about 30 minutes, just messing around, not really losing anything. Maybe lost $50, and I'm back at 300, maybe up $15. Then finally they're like, okay, we're almost to the hotel. So they get there, and we're waiting. And then waitress already came up to me 3 or 4 times. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, she goes, hey, do you need anything? And this was about the 4th time. I'm like, you know what? Go ahead and get me a couple of Coors Lights. So I do that and finally get me a couple, sit there. I'm relaxed. Been by myself for about 45 minutes or an hour now. And they finally arrive, and then we're checking where they're at. And the waitress doesn't come around for probably another 45 minutes. I'm like, this is weird. So I went to the store, grabbed me a couple of Coors Lights, and it was buy 2 or whatever. And so I got the big ones. I guess they're 18 ounces or something. I don't even know. Maybe 20 or 18, whatever the big cans are. Then I go sit down, and the waitress shows back up all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, my goodness. So I just wasted $20 on drinks for those, but that was okay. And then I'm texting, hey, we're at the Aria. So I walk over there and trying to figure out where they're at. It's pretty big. It's actually pretty busy. And they run into them. They're all there. So we're just all out having a good time, gambling just a little bit. And then, we're going to start running around a little bit. But we all stayed in that area. No, actually, when I've met them, they weren't at the Aria yet. No, they were at the Aria. And then we had to go meet the other people. They went across the street to the Chick-fil-A. So we went over the bridge and did that. Then everybody, they were done eating just about. We're outside. I was snapping pictures. Back over the bridge, go to the Cosmopolitan. Then everybody just starts gambling a little bit. kind of disperse a handful. And so then it got me a couple more drinks, feeling pretty good for the night. And then I think I lost my money, and I didn't feel like going back to the room. So like, I'll just grab me $300 more. So I grabbed that, punched that out, and then then have a few more drinks. We're back over the Aria, back to Cosmopolitan, and next thing you know, it's 1:30 in the morning, and 1:30 there means 3:30 here. There's like no concern of when you're there, time just goes, and you have no idea. I guess oxygen being pumped in, you feel pretty good, but I'm starting to get tired. I'd already been up since 6 in the morning and running between work, doing what I do in the mornings and whatnot. I'm wearing out. I'm 50 years old, so I can't keep up with these younger people too much. So we finally end up over there. I'll plug a picture in between this when I show you. So it's about 1:30, and I'm probably about 5 beers in. I know I ordered a couple of more, and I had my big can because I had bought 2 more of those. So that's almost like double. So I had like 4 of those, but I don't think I finished the third one or the fourth one, and that's when I had the other one, or from earlier. So I'm completely getting done with this, and so finally, I guess I just decided I'm not playing anymore. And I'm just sitting there waiting. Everybody's sitting there playing. I got some pictures from Scott. It was actually kind of nice. I fell asleep. I think I fell asleep for about 30 minutes. No one's bothering us. So Scott and them decided, hey, we're going to run and go do something. He's fine right there. They run off. And then I wake up. I'm like, God, I need to use the restroom. So I go to the restroom. I'm sitting at the chair. It's comfy. They just don't bother you. But, I mean, I should have got up and went to the room. I think he was going to get me back to the room, make sure. And then so I wander off. And then I think he comes back because he's calling. And then so I go upstairs. I'm still confused. I'm getting my bearings down because we never stayed at the Vidara. And these hallways twist and turn because you can actually go to the casinos in these back when you can actually go to the Bellagio, which I did the next morning. So I go upstairs to the second floor. I go left. Or no, I go right instead of left, or it was left instead of right. I can't remember. I'm still confused on it. I start walking. I get to the end of the hallway. I'm like, gosh, this is not the way I need it to go. I was right there where I needed to leave. So I go back, I turn, the corner splits like this. It's just like an L. There's a sitting area. It's like 2 nice, comfy recliners. They're not really recliners, but they're good seats, and there's like a couch. I keep calling it a bench, but it was like a little small love seat. I sit on the far right side in the love seat, right there next to the chair. I'm kind of leaning over. And I'm like, I guess I took a break because I fell asleep again. And then I woke up with security about an hour and a half later. And the lady's there. I think my phone started to wake me up, because my wife was calling. It's 4:30 in the morning, or 4:25 or something. We have Live 360, so you can be tracked. So she's calling, and I heard the phone, and then the lady's talking to me like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I was just tired, took a nap, I was obviously intoxicated, but not that bad. And so she's like, okay, are you safe and all this other stuff? I'm like, yeah, I'm safe. I'm getting out of here. I know where I'm at. Boom. And then I pick up the phone. My wife's where you at? I'm like, I don't know. I'm in the hallway. I'm on my way. And I don't want to, the lady's back there. I don't want to hear me on the phone. So I just take off, and it's funny how quick I could get to the room after this little power nap. But boom, got upstairs, went to sleep. That was it. Woke back up the next morning. Pretty bad hangover. And not really that bad, actually, because I got plenty of sleep. But my wife actually packed me a little goodie bag. So I had snacks, everything, and there was some Tylenol there. Thank God I took 2 Tylenol that morning, souped up on water, and we were good to go. But I'm going to pause this for a second. I'm going to show you me sleeping in the chair right here. Here's a picture of what was going on. Yeah, so that was the picture of me. That was my first nap before I got lost to the room, basically. But I'll tell you what, when I got up the next morning, I actually showered, went downstairs, and one thing I didn't do night before, I didn't eat. And I just had a few little snacks, and I think I had like a roller from QT at like, I don't know, when I get here at 9:50, or I had to be here at 9. So I had that at like 8:45 in the morning. The goal was just go get something to eat, but I was waiting on the guys, and next thing you know, you put that off. I mean, that's how that goes. So I woke up, went across the street to McDonald's, got something to eat there. It was cheap, so just went and did that. Went back, or started gambling a little bit, and then first I looked at my wallet. That was the first thing I did before I walked out. And I was like, oh, man. Normally when I'm drinking like that, I don't really waste too much money, which is nice. So I looked at my wallet. I had $100 and some. I'm like, God, I swore I had 3. And then I looked. I had a Cosmopolitan ticket for $276. So I guess I got up and then just stopped there. It was just, you know what I mean? I didn't waste all the extra $300 I had pulled out. So I would have been 6 down. Thank God I wasn't. It was only like not even $200 down, give or take. And so I go get something to eat or gambling a little more. And then I actually walked over to the Bellagio and cut through the hallway instead of going back to the room. I think I won like another $300-400 over there. Well, about 300. So now I pull ahead. I'm basically up $50 roughly. So I'm like, okay, that's not bad. I ended up going back to the room real quick, changed again because I was actually wearing what I slept in, and walking around in my shorts and t-shirts that I sleep in. And then I showered, got ready, walked back downstairs, and or Scott had called. He was like, hey, we're gonna have breakfast, and they were doing a buffet, and I wasn't that hungry. I'm not, so I went down there and sat with them. Their little $50 buffet. It was kind of nice sitting in there. So then I'm like, I stayed there about 45 minutes, and I wandered back off, and I'm like, I want a piece of pizza. It's already like 11:30. So I'll go up to the Cosmopolitan, and I look for the secret pizza place, which is actually fabulous. I've only eaten there once, which I've stayed there 3 or 4 times now, and my wife loves it, and so do I. But I stood in line for about 3-4 minutes. I'm like, I'm not waiting in this line. There's about 30 people in front of me. And so I wandered off, and like, there's a place across the street. I think it's called Pin Up Pizza. And so walk across the bridge, go there. The pizza was pretty big. It was like $13 for a pizza and drink. So now I'm like $25 in for my food already. So that's not too bad. And so then I wandered back and go start gambling a little bit, and decided to go back to my room for a minute, and then check Scott. And then we all started going. We went over back to the Bellagio, went over with one of the other guys. And I think I won like $500 roughly. So I'm back up. I'm up almost $400 some dollars, 500 once I gambled a little more and wandered off. I'm like, okay, this is a good day. Wandered back off, went back to the room, hung out for a little bit, and then to get ready because we were going to the Summer League game. So then we finally decided to go to that. We go outside. They're like, let's walk there. At first, Scott was because he was Ubering. And I'm like, dude, it is so hot. We walked outside, and there's no way we'd have made it 2 miles walking the way we had to go. It's so hot coming off the concrete. And so we finally get over there, and oh, my God, it is busy. It is so, so busy. But we get there. We're waiting on 2 other people because 5 of us went to that. And so we're upstairs, go up the stairs once we got there from out of the taxi. We took a cab seat because Uber kept canceling. It's ridiculous with Uber right now out there. And so we go inside, finally waiting on the other 2 guys because Scott's got all the tickets. So we check in and go in there. And, oh, man, that was pretty fun. But let me pause here for my sponsor, one of the first sponsors real quick. It's Michael Light. He's a realtor. He works for, oh, my gosh, which realtor is he? Oh, yeah, he's Call It Close International Realty. So he's out there, and he's a great realtor. He's a young kid. I had the privilege to know him since he was 4 years old. And this kid works extremely hard at doing this. This is what he wants to do forever. And this kid will bust his butt in order to get you the sale and buy the home. He's even taking less commission. I know that for a fact. But he is working his butt behind the scenes to get this done. But this is our first realtor. If you need one, please check him out. This guy will help you and do anything you can to help you get into the home that you want or help you sell the home that you currently have. It's Michael Light. And that was our first one of our sponsors. That's Michael Light. Call It Closed International Realty. And again, give him a call, man, if you need to sell something or buy. He's available all the time. His info is on the website, www.thebcshow.com. So he's on there. So we get to the Summer League where we are. We're walking in, checking it out, and we bought General Admission. General Admission was about $71. They had some other stuff, but it rocketed up to assigned seats, which there really wasn't that many. And that's like $200 some dollars. It just didn't make sense to get that. So we get in there, and I think there's 5 games that day. So I think we were on game 2 or 3 that we were going to see the Mavericks. So we got there about 15 minutes before they were about to start. I can't even remember which game. The Lakers were finishing up the game before. But, man, it is so busy. There's so much stuff going on there. This Summer League stuff is a big deal. And we just figured we wanted to stay and watch the Utah game afterwards, too. Utah and Washington, because they have the first pick, the first kid from BYU, and then Peterson from Kansas. Man, that was awesome watching that. But we go to sit down. The seating's not great. Nobody's leaving. So we finally found some seats kind of scattered, and I'm on the end of the court. I decided to move to the left because it looks like I'm in jail. The railing was literally up to here. And I'm like, I can't even watch this. I scooted over there, and I can watch the screen on the one end, and I can see them live on the other. But we got to watch the Mavericks, man. And, man, Maurice Johnson, he is good. Dude, he is a big guy. He plays great defense. And I can't even remember who it was. We were playing with Golden State. The other kid from Michigan, he played well too. The one I think that went number 11 or 12. There was 3 Michigan guys. They went 9, 11, and 12. And we took the first one, which was originally we thought was going to be the last of the 3. But Maurice Johnson, man, he looked great. And he played a lot of defense. He actually had quite a few fouls, but it's summer league, and they don't actually foul out. When I looked up, he had 6 fouls, and I was looking. This was early in the fourth quarter, but he looked good. I'm very happy with what we saw. The second game, I did watch that a little bit yesterday. He did pretty good, but this guy actually may turn out. And I like what the Mavs are doing. I don't think we're done. It looks like we're trying to make a big trade is what it looks like, to pick up one more guy to help Cooper Flagg, who's I'm excited about this year with the Mavs. And Sergio, the late first-round pick we got, he was there. He is he is. I mean, they're all young, but this guy looks young. He looked a little bit off. He impacted the court everywhere. He had a little bit, rebound, assist, defense. Definitely shot. His shooting was off a little bit. He looked more comfortable in game 2. We didn't watch game 2. It was just yesterday, but I like that kid too. And the kid we got that's coming in from Russia in the second round, not bad. He had some looks. So these guys that we got, may not be that bad. And if we can get one more guy in here, we may be doing pretty good. I'm not for sure, but man, it looks like we're heading in the right direction again with the Mavs. So I just hope they keep building. And it looks like we're loaded and forward, so we may need to trade PJ Wash. I love him, but I understand we're kind of loaded, and we may be able to move some stuff around. I know they did this. I think it ended up being like a 6 or 7 team trade with some of the stuff. So we still got some money available, a trade exemption and some other stuff. So I think it's almost $20-some million available, maybe 25. But they're going to do something. I just know it. And then Peterson with Kansas, man, that dude, he is good. And was it VJ from BYU? They're phenomenal, man. I was watching that game. We only stayed about 1 quarter, but it was time to get out of there. We had already been there about 3 hours, or 2.5 or so. It was time to get out of there. But I'm gonna tell you what, at UNLV, their play, it sucks. It's horrible. No wonder their basketball team hasn't been that good lately. I'm just looking around, and we have better arenas for some of our high school teams around here. For basketball, football, I'm not even gonna compare. That's always different. Football in Texas is way different. But these stadium for UNLV, it is old. It doesn't flow well. It was just, I mean, it looks like a high school just huge high school stadium, like an older one, like in an older town. I don't know why. They have money out there. I don't know why they don't do that, but I don't know. UNLV, maybe they'll get back to the running Rebels from, I think it was 1990, 90 when they won the national championship. But there's a reason why they're not doing that great. So it is what it is. But we headed back to the hotel, decided to gamble just a little bit, and I'm tired, so I gambled just for a little bit, and I won a couple of $100 more, up and down, up and down. So I think I was up plus, like I said, a little over 500. And I went back to the room. They left from, we went back to get ready is what we were doing, because we were supposed to go to Fremont that evening too. So I decided when we were down there, we left and went back, went upstairs, came back down, and it's getting busier. It's Thursday. The McGregor fight is this past weekend. So there was people still coming in. And we knew Friday was going to be insane, but we decided to go over to New York, walking down the street. I bought another piece of pizza, so it was another $10 I spent. That was my next meal. And I had some chips and nachos, little dip chips at the game. And so I got some pizza. I stopped to get a drink at Whataburger. I was like, man, I want a tea. So I went in there, I'm looking, it said pizza and something, and Whataburger was selling a pizza. They had a pizza oven on the left side, right there on the strip. So got me a piece of that. We went over to New York. Scott and them just decided to eat some pizza there. I would have waited. I don't know why, but I love buying slices of pizza, especially walking around. Went to New York. I got up again, was still kind of winning. And they were going to meet everybody else at Fremont, so they decided to, after about half an hour, to leave. And I decided, I'm just going to stay here and play and walk back for a little bit. I'll catch up to you a little bit. I'm a little tired, but I was just playing, so I just didn't feel like going down to Fremont right then. So they took off down there, and I worked my way back to the room. And I started to lay down, get on my phone. I think it's probably about 9 o'clock or so, Vegas time. And so I decided, you know what, I think I'm good for the night, showered and whatever. I'm just staying in. I knew they were coming back later, but I know the first night they were out till like 7 a.m., I believe. He plays, and that's just too much. There's no way I could barely make it past 1:30, it looks like. And so go to sleep for the evening. Here we go Friday. I'm like, okay, I'm going to set up and do the podcast and get up that morning. Gosh, I went and ate. I know we had breakfast. I don't even know where I went. So we got up, got ready. It's Friday. Go downstairs, and holy crap, it is so busy. And I know what I did. I ordered steak and eggs to the room. I had resort credit. That's what I did. And I got up, and then I was like, oh, my wife would be jealous of this. Took a picture. I was looking around how I was going to do the podcast. And I was like, okay, this looks great. Oh, I finally found the curtains, too, on Thursday when I went back. There was a button right there when you walk in, right in between the dining room and the living room. So I finally got them up, and, man, it was a beautiful view with all the lights. So I'm like, okay, I want to try to do my podcast during the evening. And my wife was telling me during the day. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. I want to see the lighting would be much better just seeing everything because we can see the fountain from behind right there. And I was like, that would be a great view. And so start that morning, I get up, go, ate some breakfast, went and worked out for a little bit. The little gym is just too busy. Decided to go back up, go to the pool. And by now it's like 9:30. I mean, I've been up since 5:30 in the morning. That's when it was. I got up at 5:30 a.m. So I went to bed pretty early. And so we got there and went up to the pool, sat there for about an hour. I didn't have any drink. I just ordered me a Coke and just sitting there hanging out. And I was getting hot. Oh, my God. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get ready, change again, get ready for the day. And then Scott texted, he was getting something to eat. So I'm like, I'm going to go back to the Cosmopolitan. The McGregor fight, there were so many people coming in for this. So wandered around all day gambling, and it was not a friendly day for me Friday. So I went up about plus 550, 500 or so. I think I got down about 800, maybe 9. I actually, it was probably 1,000, but that's like a $1,300, $1,400 swing for the day. And that is not, I was so excited that I had money. I'm like, I'm finally going to go home with money. I took a brutal beating on Friday, just doing this and that. Nothing was working. And then finally, we went down Friday and we went and ate. We finally went to dinner at 7:30 across the street at Planet Hollywood. There's a nice steakhouse. So we went there. We were in there for a couple hours. And I won a little bit before we went to eat and decided, you know what, I haven't really had a good meal. Or I'm going to order me something decent. We're at the steakhouse with Scott, talked this up. It's really good. It's called Steak and something. But it's a cool place. And Planet Hollywood, it was actually kind of happening. There was a lot of stuff. I was telling my daughter she would have had fun there. There was so much stuff going on. And Shannon, too, because them two, when they're together, they have fun. People watching especially. And I was doing a lot of that the last day and a half. And so had dinner. I decided to get me a couple lobster tails, man. It was like $50. I'm like, heck yeah. Why not? And then whatever else. So that was the best meal I've had in a while. That was really good. And our waitress was not very good. Had everything wrong on the bills. Everybody got their separate bills or whatever. And we just would have paid and just Venmo'd each other. That's what we should have did to begin with. Because this lady took forever getting our tickets. I saw a moment where she brought my ticket. I handed her my card right then. So I was the only one that got paid right there. Like, hey, guys, we're here. I'm leaving at 6 a.m. That was another thing. I was trying to get out and play just a little more. And I brought $300 more on me. That was it. I was done. I was like, I can't lose any more. I'm already like 1,000 down. So I've got $300 more, and that's all I'm going to do. And so I went up there and started messing around. I got down to I left there, went downstairs to play. And they were still up there for probably another 20, 25 minutes getting this sorted with the ticket and whatnot. She just was not good. I don't understand because it was busy at first and then it cleared out. So it shouldn't have been such an issue, but it was. So everybody came down and everybody's wandering around. Those guys aren't leaving until about 5 p.m. the next day. And that's probably what I should have did. But I wanted to come back to work on Saturday and whatnot. I always like to leave early wherever I'm at. But, man, that was brutal. But I decided to play some my little thorn in my side, my bubble craps. So I went down there. Started playing. I was literally down to $100. I'm like, God bless. Why not? Let me just start playing. So I played about half an hour, and I got up over 300. Of that 100 up to 3 something, so 2 plus something. And then it got up to 4, and I'm like, well, I was going to cut off at 3, but it was kind of going on a streak, so I kept crossing 4, and then I would lose just a little. And then I was like, I'm not going to bet so much. So I walked out of there with 401. I felt good. I'm up $100. Why not? Started walking back to the room. Played another slot machine. I think I won 200 more at the Cosmopolitan. So now I'm back up 3. So I'm only down, I think, $500 roughly. And so I'm like, okay, this is good. Maybe 6. I think it was down about 600. I'm like, you know what? 600, that's good. I didn't want to lose more than 1,000. I'm only down 6. So I felt like I'm bringing some cash home, so I'm good to go. So go, pack up, get ready, start setting up the podcast. Don't have a cord. The lighting's horrible. It took a while tonight hooking this up right. and it's just too dark in the room. I should have did it earlier, so that was my fault. And I poorly planned it, so that's all my own fault. And I waited way too long. I should have worked on this on Thursday and not Friday. So next time I go to Vegas, which will be later this year, I'm going to try to go watch a Buffalo and the Raiders game October 18th. I'm definitely going to I need to do some stuff from the street. So that'll be more fun. I think it's once I settle in and figure this out a little more, I think that's what we'll do. But packed up finally, repacked it different, had some of the podcast stuff in my suitcase instead of my backpack, so that actually worked out better. And then finally went to sleep and got up. I think I finally fell asleep about a little after 1 Vegas time and had to get up literally at 4. And I woke up 10 minutes early, and then I got up, used the restroom, showered. I always shower wherever I go. Got ready. I don't think Shannon was texting. Scott actually texted me at 4:05 or 4:02 to make sure I was up. I'm like, yeah, buddy, I'm up. It was nice, though. I don't know if he was up all night still playing or if he napped and woke up and did it. Who knows? And so I took off to the airport, decided to take a taxi again because guess what? Uber's not working. Like I ordered it, like it said 5 minutes. It's 13 minutes later. The cab's just sitting there. I'm just going to take the cab. I'm not doing. And the Ubers really sit over right there at the Aria, so it's literally 100 yards from us. And they're just sitting there waiting. I guess they're just waiting to see if they get something a little better, but it is what it is. Go to the airport, get through security quick. It was awesome, that pre-checked stuff, and my bags are packed right. I literally walk inside, upstairs through security in about 4 minutes. I don't even think it was that long. Go sit down, and then I'm looking, I saw the Wheel of Fortune. I'm like, I got to try that. I had $100. Like, I got cash. I got 100 I'm going to dedicate to this, and that's it. So I lost like $50. I'm like, I'm good. Wheel of Fortune's not hitting. That $3.3 million, not for me. It looked like the big pot was 1.2, so it's got to work itself back up. So I circled around and I saw there's 2 Huff and Puffs, and it's right by my gate. And I go to get on the one, and I saw a lady sit there, and in my head I start talking. I'm like, oh man, I'm just pissed off because she's on the one I wanted. So I go sit on the other, start playing. I think I had ended up bonusing, so I go up top. And I got the extended golden buzzsaw. So instead of having 15 windows, I got 30. And ended up covering 26 of those. I had the mansion feature too. So I got 26 of those covered out of 30. That's big. But before that... was betting $5, went to $3, and I went to $1. 2 spins and I won on that. I had like $9 in there or 13 or something. And then so I'm like, okay, and there's people standing behind, oh, this is going to be big. I'm like, it was only like $360. I'm like, okay, that's another plus 260 at the airport. So then I go, ordered some food real quick to try to eat a little bit on the plane before I get to the plane. And then I go sit back down and play the other Huff and Puff. I bonused 3 times on there after the lady left, but that only paid out like another $150. So I'll be said, I'm going home $200 down. I'm like, this is a win. I've got cash in my bag. I'm excited. And I was like, the airport did me right on the way out. I wish I'd had the bigger bet because it would have been over 1,000 or so. But, hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. Plane ride was smooth. Way home. Got there. Landed, I think, at 10:45-ish or so. Shannon's out front waiting. So get through. Off the plane took a minute getting off there. I'm on seat like 28, so I'm still toward the back. And I get on the plane, go back home. Go back to normal routine. Clean up real quick, chickens, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Had to rush up here. Had about an hour before I got to work. Worked yesterday for about, Sunday? Yes, I worked for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours yesterday. Closed up, finally got out of here, and finally made it home. It was a busy day for me yesterday. I was tired. I thought I'd fall out early last night, but I didn't. I was back up early this morning doing it, but my Vegas trip, it was fun. Scott finally checked on him today. He made it back. I had a couple of good pictures, but we had a good time, and I do know next time I want to get in there. But I did stay up to watch the McGregor fight last night, which there was so much stuff coming in. Oh, my God, that was disappointing. That lasted 1 minute and 5 seconds or something, but he was hurt in the first 3 seconds. It's ridiculous. As a fan, I'd have been really upset getting there for that, but yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully he comes back and gets one more fight in. I feel bad for everybody who had to pay for that, but I'm glad because when we planned this, if we would have stayed through Saturday, we would have tried to go to that, but I'm glad we didn't because it would have been crazy expensive, but hey, that was Vegas. Vegas was fun, though. There were some characters out there. I've watched some people, and it was nuts. Some of the stuff people wear, too, it's crazy, but it was a good trip, man. We had a good time, and It was very calm for being a 40th birthday. I remember doing my 40th there 10 years ago, and it was fun. So let's get to this last sponsor we have for the day. This is our second sponsor. It's where's it at? Oh my goodness. I know it's for Cherokee here. It's what is it? CM. Bear with me. Oh my gosh. Oh yes, here we go. This is what happens when you sit here and do this stuff. It's CM Roofing and Outdoor Living. You know, he's got on there. He's been doing this for a while. I always see him doing like 7-Eleven stuff and stuff like that, repairing some of the concrete and stuff. I have another guy, another sponsor too. He does that, but contact Cherokee, man. He's a good dude. He does roofings. He's been doing these for a while, and everybody always needs them. And he jumped on board, man, to help sponsor this, and we really appreciate that. All his information is on the website. I've been cutting him and his kids, gosh, I don't know, maybe 6 years, maybe more. But, you know, I've gotten to watch him grow up a little bit. So he comes in, man. He's always positive. And I was very happy when he helped surprise. But give him a call, man, if you need a new roof or any of your outdoor stuff. Check him out. It's CMS Roofing. And Cherokee's the owner. Check him out. Here it is. And that was CMS Roofing and Outdoor Living, man. Check it out. It's on the website. His information's on there. And again, thank you for help sponsoring the BC show. I forgot to say that too to Michael Light earlier, the realtor. It's awesome. Both these, again, all these guys that helped us sponsor, they're all great people. And if you need anything, check it out on the website. Again, it's www.thebcshow.com. And check them out for any of your needs. Just see on there. And we'll keep posting stuff as we can. And I'm going to bring a lot of these guys in. And I'm going to work on getting Scott and a couple of his buddies in for a show later on in the year so we can go over the Vegas trip. And pretty much I went to sleep both times the first night, so that was awesome. But guess what, guys? We dip into a little bit of the Cowboys. Guess what? We're 25 days till preseason. 3 weeks from this Thursday. I am so excited. As you can tell, I've got me around 5 fantasy books already. No, I'm sorry. I have 3 fantasy books and 1 just football. I got to go get my Dave Campbell's book for high school, so we're getting there. Training camp is right around the corner. What is that, 3 weeks? I think they start camp. The first 2 teams that are playing in the preseason game, Cardinals and Panthers, I think they open up around the 21st, 22nd area. So, and today is, what is today? 4th, 11th, 12th, the 12th, July 12th. So, man, it is almost there. I'm really, excited. And, again, the defense. A lot of this is going to go on the defense. I think Dak will be fine. The offense should be good. But, can we pressure the quarterback? Can we cause turnovers? I watched a little bit of film from OTAs the other day with Christian Parkin again, man, and I'm telling you, I am excited about this guy. And I've got us up here going 12-5. It is possible if our defense plays good. But, somewhere around 10-11 wins could be true, but I'm pushing for 12, and that's how it goes. We'll see. I think they're going to win the division, man. I think I'm really drinking this juice a little more and more. I'm excited. Once we see training camp going, then I think that's what's going to happen. We'll get into fantasy again here in about another week or two. I'm going to do some clips from one of my fantasy drafts at the end of August. I'll be able to do that. I'm not going to film the whole thing because that's going to be like 3.5, 4 hours. But I'll maybe do like first-round pick and cut some stuff out, but that'll be fun. Fantasy football, we'll get into that. But the Cowboys, man, I'm really excited about that this year. And I think we got high school. They'll be starting up here in, 3 weeks as well, around August. I think they start around August 7th. If you didn't do spring ball, you get to start around the 2nd or 3rd. School starts, I believe, the 12th. So those kids only have like 4 weeks left or so. I can't even believe that summer's gone so fast. And as we get older, I know time speeds up. But, man, how quick this stuff goes. It's a blink of an eye. I used to think summer with school back in the day, man, at 3 months, it felt forever. I didn't really like going to school. I always loved the first, buying school clothes. First day of school was always kind of a pain, but it was nice going back, seeing everybody, some of the people you hadn't seen. It's before social media. Now you can kind of keep up and feel like you've always been around them and everything, but it just gets here so fast. And then again, like I said, this time thing with getting older, it's a blink of an eye. I mean, we were looking at the last time I went to Scott to the draft back in 22. And a couple of his friends that was there with us last time. And we were there, it was a little over 4 years ago. And it really, to me, feels like not even 2 years ago. So I hadn't seen these guys in over 4 years. I couldn't believe it. And it's just, I was sitting there thinking, I forgot to tell Scott that the other day, but it is nuts, man. And it's been 4 years since the last time we were there. But it really felt, honestly, with blink of an eye, we were doing the same stuff we were doing last time. The guys were staying out. A couple of them they went to the Cosmopolitan. We were going back to Vegas. They went up to the pool, the paid pool. and they went to the nicer one. He was telling me at dinner, when they got drinks on, when was that? Friday, when they were out there. 2 drinks. He got doubles. $88 for, I think it was a vodka and tonic or something. I don't know what he had. $88. That's before tip. So $100 for 2 drinks. I'm like, dude, you should have called me. I would have brought you a bottle of vodka up there. Went across the street to CVS and bought it for $25. It is nuts. But, everything's around the corner. We're in midsummer. It's getting hot. It just poured too earlier. So we had to adjust the sound, and hopefully it's not too loud echoing this time or whatever. But, everything, it just goes quick, man. So I appreciate your time, especially as you get older. It's day to day. I had a death in the family about a week ago. We had the funeral the day before I was leaving town. And it was my brother-in-law. It was a good dude. And that was it's really sad. Just had a heart attack and on the restroom floor. It's terrible. My sister has been with him a while, 16 years, I believe. The funeral turned out really well. It was a nice service, and so that was something else we were dealing with. Hadn't really got to process this all the way. Texted my sister. I'm just trying not to. He was 55. I'm 50. It's crazy how quick these things like this happen in a case. And so I'm just saying, it's never promised. And as we're going on about this time, it's goes fast, and you just never know. So try to enjoy every day as much as you can, even on the bad days. I enjoyed the other day when I was getting beat. It was a bad day because I was losing at gambling, but that's really not a bad day. That was something chosen to go do. Not everybody got to go to Vegas. I had a great time, and was able to go, so that was fun. Did really well on everything of managing time, money there, except for the first night again going to sleep. It's funny as crap, and but again, this time thing goes quick, so appreciate everything you have around you, your families and everything. And if you can go on a trip, go on a trip. That's one thing my wife has been pushing the last few years, ever since she had cancer a few years ago. And it's always been, she'd rather spend everything we have and go on a few trips than just keep it in there. She wants to enjoy as much time as she can, so I fully understand that. And that's why we try to do these little trips here and there. And we try not to, go crazy with them. The Mexico trip we did, that was the most expensive trip we've ever done because we rented a bigger house or whatever. Never done that, but that was fun. Really enjoyed it. And we got HEB opening right around the corner, July 22nd. I believe that's on Wednesday. And that's going to be busy. It's definitely going to be busy. I'm ready to go check it out, but finally it's done. I just can't believe we're right here at that point. And I'm sure we're going to see online, everybody's going to complain the lines are too long, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's going to be like that. Just go in there. Yeah, it's going to be shoulder to shoulder. But, that's just how it goes. They're going to run out of stuff. Don't get mad. Go back and buy it earlier or just wait. It'll settle out a little bit. But, I'm going to go over there and try their barbecue. I've only had it once and been kind of really excited about that lately. So, but, HEB is almost there. We got Trader Joe's. They've got, ground broken across the street. Wylie is not what the old Wylie. We got plenty of stuff out here, but, that's how it is. And I guess we're going to start wrapping up. The BC show went on. I actually kind of went off script a little bit, went over out Vegas and stuff. Try not to cover too much sports today. We'll go over the Rangers. It's going to the All-Star break today. I think we're at 500. It depends on if we won or lost today. But we were in first by like half a game or something. But we're about to get into the second stretch of that for baseball. At least we'll finish that out. We got basketball going to start up here in a couple of months. But excited about football. We'll go over college football again soon and everything else. But again, I want to tell everybody thank you again for supporting this. And again, it's a work in progress. And hopefully we're figuring out more lighting, sound. I don't really practice this enough. And it's one thing I should come do. But right now we're just going to keep doing at it and try to find a little niche in this. And just wanted to again tell our sponsors from today, Michael Light and Cherokee of the CMS Roofing and Outdoor Living. We thank you again from the BC show to help make this possible. And thank you to all our sponsors. And I think we have like 18 of them. And they're all great. We're going to feature 2 each time, each week. And I got people starting to send me write-ups so I can just not go off script and go over everything a little better. Remember to like, share the YouTube channel. Please get on there. Make sure you do like it. Follow us on social media. I'm trying to keep more updates. And again, I'm sorry I didn't get the Vegas scene covered. I really thought I had a beautiful view. It didn't work out. And we'll see you here. It'll be next weekend on the BC show. I'm not going to do another guest. I'm going to wait a couple of weeks. It's hot. So I'm going to kind of calm down. I've already starting to set it up. But again, thank you for following. And don't forget, thank you for following this and watching. And again, like, share, comment. I'll try to answer back. I need to. I didn't realize that. You had to do that. This is way more work than I anticipated. But again, we'll see you next time, next week here on the BC Show. And remember to do something good.